let's talk about the EX1, the EM1, the goddamn laser gun they've added into Vanguard, how to get it gold / diamond / atomic as easily as possible. Honestly, I actually had a ton of fun with this gun, which I don't think I've said in Vanguard in a long time. Probably because it's a laser gun, but you know, maybe that's just me speculating. There's a ton of different setups you could use with this gun. This is what I used for the most part, the primary thing being the burst attachment. This is a very weak firing barrel, but at the same time you fire so much so quickly that in hardcore you can get away with it. You still get a lot of hit markers, you still get outgunned, but I've seen most people use this. I just prefer the burst because I like the one shot, one kill in hardcore. That's pretty much the only reason. Other than that, you can pretty much set it up however you like. There's not a huge amount of variability in my opinion. It's the barrels that make all the difference, perhaps the magazine here and there. But for the most part, it's just a pretty fun gun to use, which is unusual. But let's just jump into the camo challenges themselves. As always, 400 eliminations to kick it off, super easy, nothing to worry about. Followed by 50 headshots, again, pretty easy. I'd be surprised if you don't accidentally shoot people in the head 50 times throughout the span of the challenges. And then we have 50 multi-kills, again, pretty easy. If you're in hardcore, this should especially be pretty easy. Even in core, this gun's pretty good in core as well, in fairness. I had no issues with this. You'll accidentally end up shooting 2 people, inevitably. Then you have 5 kills without dying 30 times. This gun's more than capable of it, there's nothing wrong with it. However, as always, if you're struggling, you can use overkill to use a primary weapon you're more comfortable with. Get 4 kills with that, and then the 5th kill with this, and it will count. Similarly, if you get a grenade kill that picks up 2 or 3 people, you only then need 2 or 3 extra kills in order to get a bloodthirsty with this gun. Then we have 50 long range kills, which don't bother doing them now. As soon as you unlock them, you're going to have to do 50 attachment specific ones later anyway. There's just absolutely no point doing them now at all whatsoever. Then you have 100 close range kills, which you also have attachment specific version of, so don't stress about them too much. I ended up doing them all whilst I did the next challenge, which is hipfire kills, and purely because I wanted to get hipfire kills out of the way, but there's no need to rush to do them. And like I said, next up is 100 hipfire kills. You have to deck this out and put on every single hipfire boosting attachment on. It can be a bit of a pain otherwise. I'm just not a massive fan of hipfire kills, to be fair. It's a bit of a weird one. I think the constant beam of a laser kind of off-puts where you think the laser is going, and it doesn't often hit visually where it looks like it is. But it's doable, it's just a bit of a drag. Then we have 100 close range kills with the uproot short barrel, the remove stock, and the quantum high voltage battery. Super easy. If you're in hardcore Das House, you know, hardcore shipment, you should be able to do this relatively simply. Then we have 100 ADS kills with the beam condenser barrel, the AC steady mass stock, and the 2.5 optic. I actually did my long shots with this setup. It's the barrel that changes it to like a semi-automatic kind of gun. You can do them, your long shots like that. It's not essential because the final challenge is long shots. This is pretty easy. Go into grindcore if you're struggling with the chaos of Das House and shipment. And because the gun is a little bit slower like this, not massively, grindcore is a nice way to kind of take things a bit easier and pick off your kills. Make sure you're definitely scoped in if you are struggling. And finally, 100 long shots with the instant grat barrel, the reserve battery, and frenzy proficiency. Now that grat barrel is the thing that makes it into just kind of like a constant laser beam, but also makes it quite weak. With that being said, I had very few issues. You do just have to bear in mind that you're going to have to keep the laser trained on the enemies a little bit longer than if you were firing a normal gun. And as long as you bear that in mind, you should be fine. I think I ended up picking up like 30, 40 long shots in a single match. Just because enemies were trying to cross a choke point that I was holding. And you just beam them quite literally every single time. There's next to no recoil on it, so you don't need to worry about that. It is just a case of remembering it takes that extra second just to finish an enemy off at range with that barrel on. And after that, you should have the EX1, gold, diamond, atomic, whatever it is. It's a pretty fun gun, I have to say. It's a goddamn laser gun in Vanguard, but you know, we won't say anything more about that. But with that being said, guys, if you have any more queries or questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them, but I am going on holiday in about 6 hours. So if the replies are a little bit slower, that's why. As always though, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.